Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another Rival Fan podcast. As always, if you're joining us live here in the studio, make sure you get your comments in, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching it later, repeat, also put your comments in. I read all one of the comments, so we'd appreciate that as well. But listen, we've got a lot to talk about as always. As you guys can imagine, we are mainly a Man United fan channel. I haven't actually commented on the protest that happened yesterday. You know, I was going to do the video yesterday, but make sure you check out the homies on Trafford Tunnel. They did a really good show, and that coach obviously was on there as well. Shout out to Ty, Biz, and one of the other guests that they had on as well. I do apologize, I forgot his name. But yeah, listen, make sure you show love to them because obviously they did a great video on that yesterday. We are going to touch upon that. But before we do that, we've got to talk about the social media blackout. As always, I am joined by the homies. We've got eyes on the ball every time. Honestly, God, when I'm doing coaches, I've been teaching basketball on the Mondays and that. And I always, one of the teaching points, keep your eyes on the ball, that kind of thing. I always think of Daniel. Like every day, I'm thinking about Daniel. Basically, I want to teach you, but Daniel is in the building. Daniel, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Doing blessed. Always happy to be on the show. Monday night. It's good, man. It's good. Fun.
Yes, love to have you. We got Red Devil Studio, aka G, the homie, saying, yes, guys, yes, bro. Hopefully you're good. Always a pleasure to have you in the building. Obviously, Junior, aka Tad Viking Red, saying I'm using Junior's account. Shout out to you, Usmaan, for the love of the sport. Hopefully you're doing well. And obviously my homie, my day one, the homie from nursery back in, doesn't know a single thing about football, but he's in the building. You'll love to see it. Yes, man, hopefully you do well. And listen, we haven't got Kale here. He will be joining us shortly, but we have got aka Iniesta, aka Kojo in the building from 3 in midfield. What you saying, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to be here. Obviously, Sedu Keita will join us later on. Don't worry about him. He'll be here later on. But you got Iniesta here. The bench warmers can stay where they are for the time being. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. It's a bank holiday Monday. It's been a lovely day, nice and relaxed. So I'm happy to end my evening with my brothers, man. So let's do this.
Yes, man. You love to see us. Let's put Kojo in. Obviously, they know about the managerial record and that. You love to see, yeah, United racing. Yes, boys. And Abdullah representing West Ham because Lawless can't make it. Obviously, West Ham are playing within an hour. Abdullah saying, how's it going? Hope you're well. Hope your Ramadan is going well. Alhamdulillah, all is good. My brother, last 10 days. Obviously, got to make the most of it. But listen, let's get into the show. As I've already said, get your comments in down below. Let a brother know your thoughts. I'll try and put my screen. I know I'm not the greatest at doing that, but I will try my best. Anyways, let's get on to the first topic, which, I shouldn't laugh because it's meant to be a serious topic, but it's not. In my personal eyes. Daniel, we're coming to you first and foremost, bro. The blackout, as we are aware, there's been a social media blackout, to I don't know what the word is, to combat racism, to stand by, to send a message. I don't even know the purpose of it really. Well, I know the purpose, but I don't know how to word it. Also, I must add that some teams have come out of the blackout, social media blackout, to talk about the protest that's happened. For example, Man United, they did put a statement out talking about condemning the fans. I just, I don't know where you guys sit on that as well. But Daniel, just your overwhelming theories or thoughts on the matter. Has it combated racism? Do you think it's made a difference? What are your thoughts, bro?
No, I mean, I think the point of the blackout, less so racism, is more about like the abuse I think that footballers have received. Yeah, racism is included, but also like people sending bad remarks on through DMs and social media accounts and whatnot. So I think what they're trying to do was do a blackout, make some of these big corporations, because they rely on a lot of money from these clubs and doing their regular posts and posting every single day and whatnot. So yeah, I think that was the purpose of it. But in terms of whether it worked, I don't think it does really do anything. As we saw, two of my friends received heavy abuse today.
Let's talk about it. Anita, obviously a good friend of all of us, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Myself and Kojo interviewed her not so long ago, talking about her role within media. Obviously her presence on media and how much of a positive influence she's been. And then she posted a tweet today, absolutely disgraceful, really disgusting messages that she don't deserve that. No one deserves that. And the fact that the fact that she's still receiving it in the so-called black eye, like, come on, man, does it? It's
Yeah,
not making changes here.
Even like Callum from Coppish, who I talk to a lot, he also received abuse today as well. He posted on social media, and it just goes to show that people have no boundaries. They think that the things that they say, some people could, like, for example, look, if I receive abuse, I mean, I've been fortunate in it. I'd say in this industry since doing the media stuff, like I've received very, very positive messages, like words, people saying that they're encouraged and da da da. That's the good side of social media, but we don't see that enough. And a lot of other people deserve those kind of words. Some people, they can't hack that. If someone sent me abusive messages, I just come from a place and I have a resolve where I can handle that, and I'll just brush it off. I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care. And more time I won't even see the message because I'm very, very bad when it comes to my messages. However, what it comes down to is some people can't handle that, and they shouldn't need to handle it because that's how the world is. Remarks like that, or that's just the norm, so you just need to carry on and push. No, these organizations have the power, have the resources, have the means to combat these situations. They can put rules and regulations in place. They can put different policies in place to change these things. If the government really cared, they can come out and talk about it because they know about this stuff. They can see it happening. If they wanted to track down the murderer now, well, of course they should. But if they wanted to track down someone who did something, they can do it. They have the resources to do it. So why can't they do the same thing when it comes to these people who are sending threats? And let's not get it twisted. Like, even though I put them all under the same tree, some people are actually sending death threats as well.
Absolutely.
And they might not take it seriously and say it's a joke. We don't really mean it. No, like, words have power, and these people are using their words to hurt, and it's not good enough. It's totally not good enough. And as much as we're saying words have power, these people in charge of Twitter, Instagram, any social media platform, they have the power. Do you know what's actually crazy about all of it? YouTube give you the access to block certain words from your, you seeing them in your comments and stuff like that. So why can't you just make a general thing to block that word totally from the whole of Twitter? Like, why can't you do that?
Exactly, bro.
It doesn't make sense. Like, fair enough, some people use swear without the intention of of harming or causing abuse, but we can type without swearing. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. Those buzzwords, get rid of that profanity, man.
Yeah,
it's just simple as,
get rid of it.
And it should just, that's a very good point. Like, if those words are used, it should just trigger in the system like an algorithm, and automatically X, Y, and Z use this word, and then automatically that gets flagged up. Like, without them, it's like a system, and it automatically flags the comment up, and then obviously, you can get people to flip and look into it.
Do you know what it is, Usmaan? Look, even if these guys, and even though there's no excuse for it, I just want to know why. Tell me why. Give me a valid reason why you're not responding, and then I'll maybe shut up. I still won't, but give me the reason why, and then we can talk. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not even saying anything. We tag them daily. If you tag them and ask them a silly question now, they will respond to that.
Yeah, exactly. She tagged
We tag them all the time, and they still don't do anything to respond. It's a joke.
If it's something that's harming their business, we know how the world works, man. Obviously, money makes the world go round in most people's lives. Like, if it was something to do with money, I don't know, like X, Y, and Z's old money or something. I don't know, something dodgy to do with Instagram, or they'll be straight onto that. They'll reply as well to that person that's tagged it. And I've had loads of cases like that when I've tagged big sort of companies and stuff, and they've replied because they think it's a customer service thing. But when you tag them in this, and I think for me personally, right, I'm just going to use an analogy that best suits me, because I work in the school and I teach every day. Like, the way I see it, I'm sure a lot of teachers can relate to this, any of you in the chat. For me personally, when I'm working and those kids are in my lesson, they're my duty of care. I don't, they're not my children. I don't have to do X, Y, and Z. But as part of my job, they're my duty of care. As soon as whilst they're in my classroom or whilst they're in the lesson doing P, whatever it may be, it's my sole responsibility to make sure and nothing happens to them. They're not harmed, X, Y, and Z. They're okay. And obviously, when they go to another teacher, it's their duty of care. The point I'm making is Twitter, Instagram, and all these other platforms. When people are using your service and using your platform, that person is your duty of care. It's on your platform. So if something happens on your platform, surely you think that we need to try and rectify that. We need to ensure that this kind of shit does not happen on our platform. The fact that she's getting, obviously, you said the death threat, she's getting other threats that I don't want to use the word. We know what the word is, starting with R. I don't want to even use that word because it's disgusting to me. She's getting threats like that. And it's just, bro, that's not okay. Like, none of the things that they said that was okay, but that's just like, that's next level. No one should have to deal with that every single day of their life. It doesn't matter if you got thick skin or, and you can deal with that because you've been brought up. You shouldn't have to deal with that. It's as simple as that. I think that's the saddest thing that Anita responded to one person saying that was obviously saying sorry that you had to deal with that. Just like, look, it's okay. Like, sadly, we're used to this. You should never be used to getting abused. That's bullshit. You should never be used to getting someone at any level of abuse. I think for me, it's also the ease on top of the swear words and the racial language. It's also the ease of which someone can create a burner account in seconds and target someone and just use that to just send abuse. Because if you go into Anita's post, that person has 0 followers and follows 0 people. That person's intentionally made that profile to target Anita. Absolutely. And to get onto her. And it's one of many times that it would happen to her and many other Black and Asian people in the industry of podcasting or journalism or sports or wherever. So they got way too much work to do, but they have the power. As Daniel said, they have the power to do it. And quite frankly, it may look like a lot to a lot of people, but it's not a lot for them. They've got a lot of people that work in their businesses that can help implement these things within seconds and get it done in a day or two. So I'm not here anymore for this. The blackout stuff. This is why I didn't participate in it, because you know what's going to happen. It's not even finished, and she's already getting abused within it. So this is the whole point. What does it do? So this is why I didn't participate in it, because token gesture, brother.
That's what I called it when you and Kay were here last week. I said it's very token.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah.
So why should I participate in this kind of stuff? It's nonsense, man.
Yeah, so I completely agree with that. Viking Red and all the people in the chat, don't worry, I have seen your comments regarding the protest. We are going to go into that. So I want to quickly mention one other thing, and then we'll talk about obviously Adim and the sort of criticism. I haven't seen this actually, but a lot of people saying that it's been received a lot of criticism. Apparently he's a hooligan or something. And Azim Media, I don't know how he's got to Azim Media, which is a madness, but I will come to that shortly. But anyways, I just want to quickly touch one thing. So this came out actually 2 hours ago on BBC. Obviously, you can read the whole article if you wish to do so. It's on BBC Sport. It's basically breaking news. So obviously, I'll read the title out. European Super League, Premier League brings in new owners rule to stop repeat. So basically what's happened is the Premier League have now acted on the back of what happened with the Super League, which for me personally, right, the way I see it is these legislations and these rules should have been implemented when the first sort of murmurs of the European Super League was going to happen. So it should have happened ages ago. But what's happened is it's kind of to stop teams from doing this again. So if I can get some quotes out, the Football Association added, let me read this top here. The actions of a few clubs cannot be allowed to create such division as disruption. The Premier League said, we are determined to establish the truth of what happened. I've completely lost the quote. Of what happened and hold these clubs accountable for their decisions and actions. The Football Association added, we wrote to all of the clubs to formally request all relevant information and evidence regarding their participation. Once we have required information, we will consider the appropriate steps to take. So basically, they're looking at implementing something that in the future, if it happens again, or the Premier League teams, this top six, so to speak, try to do it, they're gonna basically get punished for it. And they're also asking for information to see if they get punished this season. Claude, we'll come to you first and foremost regarding this. Obviously, it's a positive. Don't get me wrong; it's definitely a positive. But my question to you is, why is the Premier League run so badly? Like, why does it have to take for something to happen for them to react? It's like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer waits for us to be 3-0 down. I'm not gonna take it to God. Yeah, Coach, what are your thoughts, man, on this? Like, is this like too little, too late, or is it like this is a good step in the right direction, so to speak?
They're doing this because they're rattled. That whole European Super League rattled the Premier League to a whole new level. And forget even that. Look, the Premier League, the FA, they've been butchering the fit and proper tests for ownership in the first place anyway. So you've seen a lot of clubs and owners a lot of clubs suffer because their owners have not been capable of running their clubs, but they've been able to pass the fit and proper test in the first place.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing they're failing at. So they need to address a lot of stuff within their home before they start getting angry about it. Yeah, we're all angry about the Super League. I get it. We're all pissed off about it. We all disagreed about how it was going to work and the foundation behind it and the rules behind it and everything. Yeah, we all angry about that. Cool. And yes, next time if this happens again and they try to do it, you want to punish them. Fantastic. I think everyone's happy with that as well. Cool. But you got a lot of stuff to do in your own home anyway. You're part of the reason why this club was trying to do this in the first place.
Absolutely.
So now trying to come up on the high ground of we're going to try and punish these clubs and all that. No, sort out the stuff in your own environment first. You F up with the fit and proper test. You F up with the distribution of money. The TV deals are not even a bit. They're very, very uneven. There's so much levels as to where this goes, as to where they're failing. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, they can bring all of this. But what's going on?
What's up? I can hear you, Coach.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Right. Okay. Oh yeah, but they're failing a lot of stuff they're doing anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not even trying to hear from them right now. It's nice that you're doing this thing. Congratulations. Small clap for you. Tiny clap for you. That's how the Ghanaians do. When the Ghanaian people are like, okay, you're doing okay. It's like, okay, well done. We don't give you the big ones. Nah, that's nonsense. It's good. Well done. But you should have done this thing a long time ago. So fix your stuff at home before you start bitching about what the top six were doing. There's a reason why they did it. We all understand why they did it. I'm not gonna even bullshit about that. But it's because you're a big part of the problem. So sort yourselves out first.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a valid point. I think the Premier League, for me personally, have been treating a lot of the teams like shit, really. I know of late they've done okay, obviously in terms of media. The money's been spread out to an extent, but I think in general, like they don't really care. Like they honestly couldn't care less. How many times have you seen Spanish teams get their fixtures moved because they're competing in Europe? Or Italian teams get the fixture move from like a Sunday to a Saturday or a Monday, so the team have a better chance to do well in European competitions. It's never the case that Man United, for example, we were playing Sunday to Wednesday. Like we could easily play on Saturday to Wednesday if we're playing in the Champions League, and it's always been the case that the Premier League never care. All they've ever cared about is the money, and like you said, now the back's against the wall. They've implemented this rule to try and prevent the top six, so to speak, to get out. But you guys haven't really appreciated the top six and other teams for that matter for what they do for the league. So, Daniel, what are your thoughts? And then obviously we'll go on to the major news, which is Man United kicking Old Trafford down.
Boy, it's the same thing, man. I mean, I think it all comes, or I'll come from the perspective that it all comes down to the lack of development within these bodies. I think one thing that I give a lot of credit to with the NBA for is that as soon as they brought in their new commissioner, he basically sacked a lot of people who had been there for too long, and he brought in new, younger people, fresher ideas for the game to improve. Players' union, where the best players recognized around the league come together and make the decisions, and they have an input in a lot of the decisions that are made around their sport, and then they can obviously write letters towards the referees, to the board, to the commissioner, and communicate any problems that they have. And the NBA is not perfect, but they've got checks and balances that allow the sport to actually thrive and do well, and it's currently doing well, and that's why we've seen a lot of people in the UK take a lot of interest. And I think the England can take a page out of that book in terms of, I just think there's so many old white people making decisions for the sport who are deciding certain things that might not even be relevant anymore to the league that we're in. And I just think that I'm done like having faith in any of the people who currently make decisions for the Premier League. I couldn't care less about this new rule. I don't care. And that's how I see it. It's just gonna everything that is wrong with football is still going to carry on. The off the field societal issues that we're still facing, the prejudice that is still happening, and then the on the field situation in which referees are actually getting worse we're talking about the standard of football getting worse.
The
standard of officiating is getting worse as well, like at an alarming rate. So yeah, I just think that there's so many things, bigger issues than the rule they just implemented. So I just don't care till they've shown me that they care about the off the field problems that we face as ethnic minorities. I don't care about anything else that they do. I don't care.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head, to be honest. I think there's a lot of what you said is big facts. Obviously, a lot of people in this chat are agreeing with you as well. Daniel speaking fact. Yes, Daniel, that's so true. Just first and foremost, like for me personally, I think the thing that I've taken away from what you said there most importantly is that they need fresh ideas, man, and they're bringing in younger people. You know, you said that the NBA is not perfect, but fair play to the NBA. At least they're trying to listen to the players. How many times do the players get a voice? Like little things like the referees. I know this is never going to happen. It'll never happen because obviously they're explicit. But just little things that the referee might up. Like, so the fans at home know what's going on. Like, we don't know what's going on half the time. VAR decisions, like, again, we don't know what's going on if you go to a game. I know it's not happened for a while, but I remember I went to a game and Arsenal played against Man United at Old Trafford when we drew 1-1, and Aubameyang was ruled offside. I didn't know what happened. He scored, and eventually they pulled it back and said it was a goal. We didn't know what was going on. Like, I hadn't got a clue what's going on. Like little things like the referee standards, by the way, is an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. There's been so many decisions, right, that they've actually seen replays. So they've seen exactly what we've seen at home. They've given penalties for people diving. They've given penalties for minimal contact. This includes every single team. Man United do it all the time. You know, flipping Vardy does it all the time. You know, Kane. You can name so many players. Stuff like this needs to be penalised. Back in the day, not even that many years ago, if you got caught diving, you get sanctioned or you get, I know this still a yellow card, but they'll get a retrospective ban. Like, nothing's happened. You've got clear footage of players diving. Saka the other day in the Europa League, I think it was, blatant dive, got to get the penalty.
But do you know what's mad though? With what you just said though, the reason why that diving retrospective ban thing has gone out of the window is because VAR was supposed to take that out of the equation.
Exactly.
That was supposed to be like the referee should see it clearly. It was a dive, da-di-da-di-da. But now we see referees
they're so
incompetent, aren't put in context the situations. The reason why they can go back and look at things and say, cool, this is a red card, this was a dive. It seems like they have more days to discuss it. There's a panel, so more people vote on it. Now it's someone who's in a situation where they're not watching it like it's football. They're watching it like, oh, he stepped on me, so it was definitely a red card. It just makes you wonder, because think about it, if you watch Sheffield United Tottenham, guys stamped on thingy.
John Fleck,
and like, in the context, me personally, I think you can get out of that situation. Look, we've all played football.
It's a red
you don't have
card.
to step on someone's face.
Guys
don't need to. There was no momentum. There was no like.
Oh, you can tell by the force of his foot that he's done.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Easily avoidable.
Yeah, it was avoidable in that situation. Yeah, cool. But so it's just the inconsistency, the constant. Like, so what is a red card now? Like, you don't even know. Like, the weirdest thing could be a red card. And even fair enough, the handball rule as well. Like,
they've changed it about 5 times.
But they've changed it 5 times, and we still don't even really know what it is.
Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? You don't know. It's bullshit.
The lines that they draw for offside now are getting ridiculous. Like, it actually doesn't even make sense.
What's the Saka offside with his pinky toe last week?
Pinky toe can be off. I mean, I'm not even frustrated by the pinky toe thing. I'm frustrated by the arm thing. Like, how can you be offside with that part of your arm? You've never seen a goal scored like that. Like, so
it's like, not allowed. It'll be
come on, man. It's actually not allowed. Do you know what I'm saying?
So,
it's crazy,
God, the amount of nonsense. I know, like, this is kind of irrelevant to what I'm saying, but even the punt penalty in the Europa League, like, that is just embarrassing officiating. It clearly states in the rule book, if it deflects over to the part of your body and then hits your arm, it's automatically not a handball. And they've still given it. I know that's not Premier League, but it's just officiating at the moment. It's an absolute joke.
Well, yeah, bro. This is why
accountable as well. The officials, man, they're just getting away with it.
No, but this is why they need to be held accountable. I liked what they did on Match of the Day too. I forgot the guy's name, but they mentioned the name of the guy behind VAR, and they said that this guy was behind VAR when he told the referee to go and see Balbuena's one at West Ham, but then he didn't tell the referee to go and see the one with John Fleck just this weekend.
Yeah.
He's the same man behind the VAR, and they mentioned his name. I forgot his name, but so I wish I could say it right now. But they mentioned his name. I was like, that's good. Say his name. Because referees have been allowed to get away with their BS decisions for a bit too long now. They have to come out. They have to be able to come out and say, "This is why I made that decision." Because now, when you say the littlest thing about a referee, a manager will go and get a ban or a fine.
Yeah, legit. Where does that fine go to? Like these man's
pockets. When Espirito Santo said the truth about refereeing in this country, didn't he get a touchline ban for like 2 or 3 games? This is the whole point. Referees get away with it because they can.
Jose can't say anything now. Like, literally, obviously, that famous meme. Like, he literally is not allowed to speak about. And they're still asking the questions. Like, these ones are cracker. But listen, let's move away from that. I suppose it kind of leads on that because there was an incident at Man United. That could potentially be footage. But listen. I can't introduce the topic like that. First and foremost, get your comments in. I know a lot of you have already put your comments regarding, so I do apologize if I missed them. But if you were at the protest, Valkyrie, and I know you definitely were, let us know your thoughts regarding the protest. Was it peaceful? I didn't actually go. I couldn't make it myself, and Adam couldn't make it for personal reasons. But not the least, Manchester United postponed, or Man United fans postponed the biggest game, arguably, in the calendar. The 2 of the biggest teams in Premier League history. Man United v Liverpool. It was an important game for Liverpool and obviously for Manchester City as well, because if Liverpool beat us, the City would have got crowned the champions. Of course, Liverpool needed the points for the top 4 race as well. So it was actually an important game. I know a lot of people have said it was a dead rubber. It was a dead rubber potentially from our perspective. For the other 2 teams involved, it was a huge game. But nonetheless, man, like the players did not leave Lowry Hotel for 3 hours. God knows what was going through their heads. Man, they just sat there in the hotel, just spectating the absolute scenes outside. And obviously, as always, not always, but there's always a couple of idiots that actually broke into Old Trafford and got onto the pitch. Me personally, I'm a bit and ahhing about it, because I'm not gonna lie, it sends a message, but at the same time, of course, they can't be doing shit like that. My head's saying they can't be doing that. My heart's saying, get him, boys. You should have done more, but it is what it is. Daniel, what are your thoughts on the protest? First and foremost, I may not sending a message, surely.
Yeah, I agree with the protesting. Kind of said a bit of it on the Kojo show. That I agree wholeheartedly with any club who believes that their club isn't being run correctly, especially with, it's not even about the money, because I do think it's not like Arsenal, and even Arsenal to be fair, but it's not like you haven't had money to spend, but it's just the fact that the Glazers are doing it in a cheeky way. I mean, back getting the club in a debt, and then taking that out, doing a number of things where they're not using their money to put into the club. They're just taking, and not giving at all. So the protesting is definitely a step in the right direction, because as fans, there's not much we can do. And really, I think the protesters are utmost or premium social responsibility as fans. However, the breaking in, I can't condone, man. That's poor, man, on some of the people. I know it might have, I mean, if it does all end up in having the desired effect of getting the Glazers out, then yeah, the masses are happy about it. But it's like, you have to see it as a breach of security that they broke into the stadium. That's crazy. And you've been to stadiums,
that's
how hard.
Madness.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to do that, innit? So I just think they've got to really, and it's more time would have been the hooligans who would have done that. Every club has got them, but it's just, you just got to be careful with these things, because it puts a lot of people at risk, a lot of people in danger. And at the end of the day, really and truly, it might not have the desired effect that you want. And as a person, you could just end up going to prison for nothing, especially if the Glazers stay in charge. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just got to be careful. There's a fine line between protesting, but there's a fine line between protesting and like almost thuggery and just doing it in a scandalous way. So yeah, but all in all, though, for the most part, the people who did protest, they did a good job.
Yeah, no, before we come on to obviously, the vandalism breaking in part, because there's going to be ramifications. Though we know that it's quite clear that something's going to happen. Cause to get your thoughts on Souness's comment suggesting that Paul Pogba was to blame regarding the fans breaking in. What were your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on Graham Souness? And also, I've seen people. I've seen people on Twitter tweeting that Tottenham fans were trying to get in as well because they could finally get a trophy. But Kojo, madness. What were your thoughts on Souness's comments? Because he said a lot.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. When he talks, I don't listen anymore. You know, because what's the point? Real talk, what's the point? This is someone who, when he was playing for Galatasaray, went into the middle of Fenerbahce pitch and stabbed the flag of Galatasaray in the middle of the pitch.
Bro, that is a madness.
If they had run onto the pitch, the fans, brother, and you know what? I would have sat there. I would have been like, you asked for it, because that's hell. You're walking into hell, and you're plugging there. Right? So he can't come and talk about rebellion and this, that, and the other, bro. He's done something that's
he made
even...
a career breaking players' legs. That was all he was. He was known as an enforcer. That was an actual role. It was like what is it? Like NFL, where you just get one man that just blocks off all the players and just fouls everyone. Basically, he was that guy. Like, that's his role as a player. So
he wasn't a nice player to play against. And look, for me, at this point with Souness, it's just tiring. At this point, it's just tiring. It's one of them ones where it's just like, look, you know what it's going to be. It's always going to be something negative concerning either Pogba or United. You know what it's going to be with him. It's nothing anything that's balanced. It's never anything that's fair. It's always Pogba should have done this. Pogba's been in good form this season. He still found a way to say that Pogba should go. And then
I was going to get onto that, yeah.
And then you go to United, and yes, of course, we know. And I always say this, every fan base has its idiot fans. Every single fan base has an idiot fan. So in the Arsenal protest as well, I'm pretty sure there were about 4 or 5 people that did something stupid in there. I understand it. I respect that there are stupid fans in every fan base and they're going to do stupid things. We have some fans going to the stadium, it's breaking the entering. Cool. If you're there, get on the pitch and make your voice be heard. With the breaking of the equipment and all that, I don't particularly agree with that. Throwing flares at the pundits.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that either. I hear that. But the message, you understand the message. You actually understand the message. There's no way a grown man of his age does not understand the message that's being sent here. And for him to come and just waffle.
Glazers have done a good job, Coach, according to him.
Well, you know, yeah. I'm sure. Listen, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't listen to anything he says. He criticizes Pogba's football ability. There's video evidence of him taking the ball up the pitch with his team, going forward, and then kicking the ball all the way back to his goalkeeper within an attack. And they weren't even winning the game by a big margin, bro. They should have been going to kill that game off. So I ain't trying to hear from that guy no more. Real talk, I generally just don't give a shit about his opinion anymore. I don't. I mute. In fact, my Sky's even run out now. I've left Sky. So fuck him. I don't have to listen to him no more. When I stream, it'll be an American stream. I don't have to listen to his voice no more, man. Fuck that guy. Honestly, I don't care about him at all. I don't really give a shit.
You'd love to see it. As you now say, obviously, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you are new. But listen, Kay, let's get you in, obviously, regarding the matter. First and foremost, your thoughts on the protest, and obviously, Souness's comments as well regarding, why United fans upset by Glazers. They've done X, Y, and Z. To be fair, I don't remember which pundit it was on Sky. He just broke down all the numbers and he just absolutely killed it. Kale, what are your thoughts on the protest first and foremost? Obviously the vandalism, etc., and as soon as this sort of comments.
First and foremost, I think everybody has a right to protest, especially when they think that something's gone wrong within their club. I mean, but the thing is, what I kind of draw the line at is when violence occurs and when they break it. Something similar to what Daniel said. When you start breaking and entering, that crossed the line. I think there was a steward that ended up getting attacked. And there was a picture of him.
That's not acceptable at all.
That's completely unacceptable. To be honest, I think what you need, if what you could do in a protest about a football club can be held within a football stadium, so in the stands, you get your banners out, you can chant, you can do all of that. As long as that is the level that you're keeping it to, it's fair enough. When the violence starts, you need to stop. It's football, bro. Nobody innocent, like a steward. He's just doing his job. Nobody needs to be harmed when it comes to a game of football. Come on, it's just sport. It's not that important. What about Souness? What did Souness say?
Souness saying Glazers.
What doesn't he say? What doesn't he say, man?
Glazers are good owners, basically, is implied that Man United fans should be crying, or yada yada, just generic nonsense dinosaur.
I don't know about the good owners part. The funny thing is, when it comes to United, especially during the third years, I really didn't understand why you guys were so upset with the Glazers, because it's considering that you were winning everything consistently, and it only started to really pipe up once Fergie left. I mean, there were protests. There
was 2005, 2010, and 2011. That was major protests. Obviously, Fergie was there at the time. 2005, when the first initially came in, they bought the club on debt. So there was a huge protest then. 2010, 2011 as well. There was massive protests in the cup final as well, I believe.
That was the yellow and green stuff, right?
Yeah, and Beckham was a part of one of them as well, actually, because he was on the pitch walking off with the green and gold, that famous picture. I think that was 2010. So the players are aware of why the fans are protesting. I think a lot of it's down to the money. Like, it's not about the people. People's response is exactly the same. Oh, why United fans are so spoiled? You spent X, Y, and Z. Yeah, we spent the club's money. We've not spent the Glazers' money. These fans are literally taking dividends out every year. Apparently, it's an excess of 50 million every year they're taking out of the club. Never put any money into the club at any point, and it's like you're basically just it's a fully a cash cow then, because you're not putting any of your own financial money in. The only money that gets spent on players is from the club that the fans generate, and that's the only money that gets spent on the club. Which obviously that's how most clubs work, but if you've got owner that actually gives a shit about the club, which these guys don't, it's the same with Arsenal. Your Arsenal is exactly the same. The only difference is we generate more money, hence we spent more. Yeah, that's the only difference. And as an Arsenal fan, you should be able to relate to the fact that our owners look where Arsenal are. Look, with all due respect and Barrett aside, you don't belong there. Like, Arsenal don't belong in. Like, they should be a top force. And the fact that Man City or this powerhouse, that should be Arsenal. I'm not saying Liverpool powers, but Arsenal should be Man City, basically, because that's what I've always known them as. Like, and the fact that they're all down there, you got to look at the owner, because he's just killed you guys. Like they sold you a dream. Or let's leave Highbury, one of the most historic stadiums in football, in the English football history. Let's leave the stadium for this lot. And since you've left, it's been an absolute shambles. Like, you've just been sold dreams, and it's the same for us. Since Fergie's left, it just shows how good of a manager he was, because he was just carrying us, basically, paying over every single carrot. Without Fergie, we basically barely belong under this ownership. Nowhere. Like, just mid-table. Daniel, you're muted.
That's the thing, though. Like, what's it called? You look at Liverpool. Liverpool fans are saying that they don't like their owners as well, but their owners practically gave them a Champions League and Premier League, or a big reason part of it. And you can criticize the owners all you want, but every team that is successful generally has decent-ish owners behind them. That's why I think that a lot of people have a problem with Arsenal. On top of the fact that the owners aren't competent, you have an incompetent manager as well at the helm, who I still believe till this day, if a better manager was in charge. Me and my dad had a long conversation as well, a big Arsenal fan. Before we moved
since day one of the season.
And he literally broke it down for me. He said, look, at the end of the day, he loves Arteta, and he's an optimist as well, man. No, like, he likes Arteta as a player. Like, that's the kind of player my dad likes. He loves those technical type players and all of that. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay. But he's an optimist. He's not like Arteta route, this and that. But what he says, that football is no different to life. The reason why you struggle to, or a lot of company owners struggle to give graduates and other people a chance, is because they don't have experience. And Arteta just doesn't have the experience to navigate himself out of the situation that he's currently in. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like, so for me personally, just with the owner situation, like, everyone has their grievances with the owners. Even you're seeing Chelsea fans turn against some Chelsea fans. Very, very small.
Right, if you lot turn against your owner, bro.
And that's why I made the tweet. That's why I made the tweet that I made today, because you have guys like Rory Jennings who have a lot of power in what they say, and then when you say wrong information, it makes me annoyed.
I saw
He
you
was
posting,
basically
but I
saying,
didn't read his tweet. What did he say?
he was basically saying that United fans, or no, Chelsea fans are hypocritical because we're seeing United fans complain about their owner, we're seeing Liverpool fans complain about their owner, Arsenal fans complain about their owner, regards to the Super League, and we're not complaining about our owner. But we've complained, we got out of the Super League. That's enough said. Like we Arsenal fans, United fans, and Liverpool fans aren't complaining about their owner just because of the Super League. The Super League was
exactly.
Was like the thing that made it go over the edge.
That was the straw that brought the camel's back.
Yeah, no, literally.
Others, but especially Arsenal, the backs been broken for a few years. But back to my point, I understand now, because I do see the comparison between Arsenal and Manchester United are obviously there. They're plain as day. Both American, both, like you said, spending the club's money, and down to the fact that Man United have made way more money because of how successful they were during the 30 years. They managed to gain millions and millions of pounds. But yeah, I feel like it's because of how the Glazers have run the club, especially into the ground recently, where trophies are pretty much dried up, especially the major ones. The people that they've put in charge only were interested in making the money. Ed Woodward clearly there. I don't know. There's plenty of Arsenal board members and executives that you can run through that are only interested in making a buck. And the football has died. The club culture has died. Obviously, Arsenal were known as a real professional, real respectable, honest club. And ever since Wenger left, all those ideals have just absolutely evaporated. So, yeah, these owners they really need to go because they are just sucking the life out of our clubs.
Without a shadow of doubt, I think Arsenal may not get mugged off, to be quiet, and Liverpool to an extent. They've only waited now to get Canate for Klopp. That should have happened, in January sort of thing. Like they needed a centre back then, and they waited till ages. Just this comments made me laugh here. Mine and Big Ron's Gordon Oldies chat. Thanks us, but honest to God, the people in this community on my fan challenge just cracks me up because half the time you guys tune in. And you are just having your own conversation in the chat. I don't know what's going on. I'll just scroll through the chat. And no one's like Harley. Everyone's just talking about the whole thing. But listen, make sure obviously you drop a like, obviously, and I'm sure everyone's already subscribed. But listen, just to, I kind of want to quickly just brush over this because it has been rumored that might get a points deduction today because of what happened. Not today, as in that the rumors have come out today. For me personally, I think it makes sense. Because you can't do that. I don't think that's acceptable, to postpone the game. Although, I love the fact that it's happened because, more power to the people, so to speak. End of the day, there was a chant outside the hotel. I don't know if you guys seen it, but we decide when you play. Like, I love that. Like, that chant is powerful. Obviously, it sends a message. The fans matter. And I think that's what it was about. I think the protest was meant to be sending a message, obviously, to cross the line. But it was about showing that the fans have still got power. And the fact that they postponed such a huge game in the Liverpool Man United thing, I think that does send a message that the fans do still have a say on these things. So regarding a points deduction, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet, obviously. We can move on to another time. But, I think we should get points to do 5 to 10 points. I don't know what the thing is, but it's just something should happen. But anyways, let's move on to Tottenham Hotspur 4-0 winners. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for this game. A lot was kicking off yesterday. I don't even know if anyone watched it. Obviously, Kishu's a regular on the podcast. Really tried his best to make it relevant by putting messages in the chat that I replied, basically not giving it all. Bale scored a hat trick. The major talking point for me is the manager Mason. I forgot his first name, but it is what it is.
Ryan.
That's the one.
Easy to remember, bro. Come on now.
Honestly, God, he's irrelevant as well. But anyways, I was thinking Mason. I was just thinking Mason Mount, but it is what it is. Mason for the job. A lot of speculation surrounding Spurs that he might be in contention to get the job like an Oli 2.0. For me personally, I think it would be a great appointment. I think he deserves it. I think he absolutely does. I think he deserves it. He's done a brilliant job. Really fantastic job beating Sheffield United 4-0. Not playing Dembele once. So yeah, brilliant, fantastic. Really, really makes a lot of sense. Kale, we'll come to you first because obviously you're not you've just come. So, as a rival fan, would you be worried if Mason got the job? What are your thoughts?
I would be 100% absolutely worried. I feel like this is a man who, at the age of 29, has all the experience he needs as a top flight manager to take control of a big, massive club like Tottenham Hotspur.
They're not that big, to be fair. Let's be real.
No. Let's get real. You don't need trophy to be big. You need top four. They've been consistently getting top four, so they are big, especially in this England. So that type of man for that type of club, 110%. Take him. I'm all for Ryan Mason getting Tottenham job.
I'm not gonna lie. As a rival fan, I'd be slightly, worried if he got it. Like, I think he could bring back the glory days. Not obviously on the bench. Those glory days of coming third in a 2-horse race.
Nothing. That's the glory days I'm hoping for. Absolutely.
Listen, those glory days of coming third in a 2-horse race, you can't write that shit. You literally can't write it. Listen, Ryan Mason for the helm. Like, for me personally, I think he's done a better job than what Ali did when he initially came in. And obviously, Arteta put Collins down for Pep. Well, he put Collins down for Jose, so I think he fits the criteria. Absolutely. Daniel, what are your thoughts? What do you reckon? Ryan Mason for the helm.
Amidst all the sarcasm and all the jokes.
I'm being serious. I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel.
I think he's the guy. He's got nice green. He's got nice jacket.
It would be a travesty.
Fresh blood.
It would be a travesty of justice, man. It would be horrendous. I mean, we just finished talking about lack of experience. Arteta doesn't have the experience. I mean, Ryan Mason doesn't even have work experience, let alone experience.
He's been a coach for 3 years, man. Come on, man.
Nah, man. Ryan Mason don't like. If you wanted to put into levels, like at least Arteta had his A levels. He just didn't get a degree, didn't go to uni. Like, he was the assistant. But Ryan Mason hasn't even been the second man. Like, was he? What was he? He was like the youth team coach.
23.
Yeah. So, and he was only there for what, about 2 years? 3 years? Yeah. So like,
he did a great job there as well. Just that far.
Yeah, did a great job. But I mean, there was Chris Powell, who's an experienced manager in that backroom staff.
That would make too much sense, wouldn't it? Really.
There's Ledley. I mean, Ledley King was the number 2. That would have made a lot more sense. And if you wanted to go down the route of Tottenham legend,
I mean, if you want to go down the route of racism, then by all means, like, I don't. You're spelling out, but you're not saying it. I'll say it for you. Like,
I'm not gonna wave that flag.
I will wave that flag. 2 black coaches, way more experience. One of which, as you just said, Tottenham legend, second in command. Normally what happens is the second person, the assistant coach, normally gets the job as the caretaker. Yeah. Like, there's never not been a time that's happened when the caretakers come in. Maybe Oli potentially, but everyone else left with Jose.
No, but Oli was brought in as manager. He wasn't a coach under the system.
Yeah. I know, but everyone left. So everyone left already. So there wasn't someone else. There wasn't anyone to give it to. In this case, Ledley King's still there. Obviously Powell's still there as well, but. Now let's give it to the 29-year-old. Like, I've got more experience than him. Like, fucking hell. At least my team would have actually done something in that final. Like, do you know what I mean? Pass the guy's bail. We might have a chance.
It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy when you think about it. Just how, just silly the appointment was initially, and maybe possibly what they're trying to do is the feel-good thing, the story around it, and obviously. Great stuff to how he came back.
We've been that, bro. Don't do it.
I mean, no, literally. But fam, do you know what? I think, it's a good win. The Sheffield United can't really look past that. I mean, he could play all his attacking players. I mean, really and truly, he had a better chance of beating Man City if he just played that team as well. That he played against Sheffield United.
Play his younger brother Winks in it, so.
So what's it called? I just think, do you know what? You can't look past Tottenham in terms of the top 4 race. I know they have the inexperienced manager and whatnot, but I don't think their running is that hard. And if they get games like they did yesterday, the game was like, you just never know. I mean, they're 5 points behind. They're in a nice position. I know Liverpool do have a game in hand, but it's the game in hand with Man United. So yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, we're gonna make sure Liverpool ain't getting no points that game. So it's all good. So good. We'll deal with them. We'll deal with them. Cody, what do you reckon? Do you think Mason could be the job? Because look, let's be real. It's not like they wanted any other manager. It's not like they've been rejected by 2 on the bounce. Like, none of that's happened.
3.
Oh, was it 3? Sorry, apologies, my mistake.
No, it's 4. I rejected them as well. I'm not So yeah, I mean, look, I ain't seen Gareth Bale smack a hat trick like that before in my life, innit? Basically, so and then the third goal, I've never seen anything better than it from that. Even the overhead kick in the Champions League final wasn't that special compared to that goal. So, me personally, I think Ryan Mason's doing a wonderful job for his confidence. I think he's got Dembele doing star jumps on the bench.
They're undefeated, so
well, I mean, undefeated in the league anyway. I mean,
absolutely.
But look, there's nothing wrong with giving a job to someone who's still doing his sats. Looking forward to doing
still finishing his PGC, yo.
Yeah, well, let's see if he is there. I did well in my sats. I got good marks. So,
I got level 3, so I can't relate.
See, okay, see, there you go. See. But yeah, so there you go. I think it will be a good job, and if you don't want to give him the job, I think he could go across the front.
What about Eddie Howe? He's a decent shot as well.
All banter aside, I prefer really not to speak on that guy.
Oh yeah, you don't like him. Well,
yeah. If I speak, I don't want to be in big trouble. Shout out my actual goat. So yeah, and look, if it doesn't work out for him, there's another job that's going to be available on the other side of North London anyway. So one way or another, one way or another.
I think Kale will definitely snap him up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think Kale will love it. I mean, look, and Ketel will be firing. David Luiz will be firing. He'll bring back Chesney. He'll bring the band back together.
Bring back Chesney. I don't think we'll even rap.
What?
Kale, what's up? Oh, there we go. We're back.
The connection was doing the thing. It was. When back in the day, when you turn the TV, back in the day, when you don't have an antenna and you turn the TV on, you just see that black and white mess.
Legit.
Here we go. I'll say that again. I'll bring back Chesney in a heartbeat. I was
going to ask you about that because he's been linked.
Oh yeah, he was playing Matt Ryan yesterday. But have you seen Chesney recently?
He's better than Matt Ryan and Leno. I can tell you that.
Oh boy, okay, boy.
I mean, Leno saved you in the Villarreal game.
He also saved him against the Wasn't Leno better than De Gea last season? Wasn't Leno the best keeper in the world last season?
I didn't say that. You can't bring it up a bunch.
I don't know what Daniel Coulter heard in the grapevine, but Leno was the best keeper in the league last season. Like even Alisson.
But that's by someone that was supposed to appear on your podcast one time and he went ghost. But we'll find him one day. Don't worry.
No what? Listen, I don't know if he's gonna watch this yet, but this piece of shit, not spoken to me since December. I don't know what's happened to him. He texted me on Wednesday or whatever day it was. Texted me on Wednesday something. Just out of the blue, I'm not here from December and I've known this guy for a time. Like obviously not he disappears again. Because they lose, then they disappears again. Like I was like, yo, where have you gone? Like, he goes, ring me on Wednesday. I was like, since I'll ring you. And then obviously Arsenal played on Thursday, you did your thing, and then he just not replied to me again. So I just pray, honest to God, it's gotta be down to that. It can't be anything else. Like, oh my God, honest to God, I can't wait to get him back on there. He will be back on the coming end of the season. Don't worry. #Moose back. Don't worry. I'm gonna somehow get the predictions video on the left so we can all watch it together and we can react to his predictions together. Because man said with chest that Arsenal finishing third. Like with chest, with chest, and then he said that you're gonna win the Champions League in 2 years. Like Arteta promised Willian or whoever the hell he promised.
With all the chest of Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar got a wide chest.
Huh?
No, I don't think Kale might have been on once. I remember his.
Kale wasn't on. Kale wasn't on with Moose. Definitely wasn't. He definitely wasn't. Because Kale would have pulled him up and said, "Hold on, wait."
Bro, remember when Fuad, and he was talking about Harry Kane with Fuad. He goes, "I expect all Kane does is pass."
I miss him, man. I miss him. I actually miss him. He's too funny.
Yeah, trust me, but he's back in contact, so hopefully we'll have him back come then. Yeah. But listen, let's talk about Arsenal and Chelsea. I was going to talk about Kane, but we'll just leave it until Kane comes back so we can, see his tears. Chelsea to Arsenal, it seems like a lot of. Actually, Len was apparently he's spoken that he wants to leave. Which sorry, say goodbye. Danny, what do you reckon? Do you think that's a huge loss for Arsenal? Leno on his way out and Chesney apparently on his way in.
No. I think Martinez was obviously the better keeper or the best keeper out of all.
Let's stop mentioning his name, Daniel, please. I need a break. I need a break.
He was. Look, I still think I'm still of the mindset that even if Arsenal had Martinez, then the season wouldn't look.
They'd be eighth at least.
I don't think they'd be eighth. Would he have made that much? Eighth, cool. Even if you give them one place, I mean, one place isn't that much of a difference to their season. But you'd rather have the better player, of course, and that's what it comes down to, isn't it? And I feel like Martinez and Leno are around the same age too, like maybe 1 year.
Yeah.
So but I mean, getting Chesney in like it doesn't really change anything, man.
It's just like it's a blockbuster signing, to be fair. Like, you know, the kind of signing that it would propel us back to the glory days. You know, Kojo, what do you reckon? Is that the answer for all of Arsenal's queries? We're gonna preview the game, obviously, the Europa League game and Champions League one. No, we got to ask Daniel regarding his thoughts. But just before we go into that, Chesney in. What do you reckon, Kojo? Is that the answer? Is that gonna bring him back?
I mean, firstly, can I just say that Leno is the greatest German goalkeeper they've ever had. So, you know.
It took him so long to register that.
You're nice, bro.
Oh my god. It took him so long. Oh my god. Where's that 56 minutes? I need to just clip that one thing.
No. In all seriousness, Chesney has been so. He's been.
I was agreeing with you for a second. I was like, hold on, wait. You're cheeky, man.
No, Chesney has not, for me, he's improved at Juve, but not substantially. He's still making his stupid errors. It's just that he's better at shot stopping and other things a lot more in terms of that sense, but he's still making the same errors from when he was at Arsenal in the first place. So for me, he hasn't really developed as a player too much. Is he an upgrade on Matt Ryan? Absolutely. Is he an upgrade on Leno? I don't think so. I think they are neck and neck. So I don't think this does anything for them. Yeah, so I don't think that's anything for them. Juventus could do a swap deal with Arsenal and they'll be still getting the same results with the goalkeeper.
Ronaldo for Leno, I don't know. That might be.
Ronaldo for Leno, it could be. I mean, if you want Ronaldo Jr., yeah. Absolutely. I think Ronaldo Jr. will last play for us.
Get Ramsey back. It's Tobias' God, aren't you?
Imagine they bring them both back.
I know, yeah. Oh my god, that is happening. Ramsey, how many years has Ramsey got left his contract?
Maybe one.
I think he's got a year left. Yeah.
Bring Ramsey and Chesney back, Hale. What are your thoughts, mate? Bring the band together.
Ramsey would never have left as well. Ramsey would have been a good player to keep though, because you saw him when he was playing his best football.
Would you take him back, Hale? Ramsey come back as well.
He wasn't playing his best football when we sold him. I agreed with the sell because I
bring back Beckner.
Can attest, I wasn't his biggest fan. Knowing now what I do now,
Wenger disrespected.
What did you say?
I said that Wenger was disrespected. You man shouted to get Wenger out for keeping 10th position, yo. That is a madness.
I know. It's crazy. But knowing what I know now, I would have kept Ramsey because our midfield is absolutely dross right now, especially going forward. But Chesney coming back, I disagree with Kojo. I think Chesney's an upgrade on Leno. But he's got the experience of being
winning titles.
Yeah. So I feel like he's matured now. I don't think you will catch him smoking in the showers anymore.
Oh my god, that's a madness, you know.
I think that might be an upgrade. I think he's grown as a person as well. So I take it back in a heartbeat, even if it's a swap though. I take it back. But we also need to get a backup because I can't keep Matt Ryan. My guy, we went from some. Was that Icelandic goalkeeper? I don't even know anymore. We got rid of him. Gunnarsson for Brighton's number 2.
What's wrong with Matt Ryan? I don't understand.
Trust the process, bro. Trust the process.
I think Matt Ryan's getting massive.
I take him as my number 2. I take him as my number 2.
He's better than Lee Ryan. So at the end of the day,
he's better than bloody Leno. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's
I feel like because he played at Brighton, so there was a high velocity of shots going against their goal. So you saw that as a shot stopper, he's good. But in terms of concentration, we don't know because at Arsenal he's not really played that many games because of Leno and because he's a loan signing. And two, just because of the game against Newcastle, we're gonna get gassed over. It's like no. Matt Ryan is not a goalkeeper that should be number 2.
You don't think he should be number 2?
Nah, I don't think so.
I disagree, man.
I disagree as well. Romero and Ryan, same difference, man.
I think Ryan and Begovic are around this in the same category.
I just think it's funny that
Begovic still a player.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Yeah.
Where's he now?
Is he still at Stoke? Oh yeah, Bournemouth. Bloody hell, yeah.
Bro, I swear he's like 40.
No, he was not that old. No, he was quite young when he went to young.
He's like 32, and he was in team of the season, I believe. He was goalkeeper.
Bro, you're a fair player, man.
Doesn't anyone find it funny that big Arsenal are loaning players from Brighton? Is that not a problem? Is that not a concern?
Big club, man. Super Six.
I disagree.
A big club, coach. You're a rape big club, you know. They're getting Chesney back. We're linked to get Ronaldo back. These guys are getting Chesney back. Dad, I saw you. I see that. I was so close. I thought, no, I can't.
What was that?
He tried to lure me in with the Ronaldo bait, and I almost fell for it for a second. And he said,
I feel like if Kish didn't message first.
Yeah, I was looking at my Kish. Kish boxed up in it. Andrew Ellis, you legend, so I appreciate it, bro. Thoughts on Partey? Still dancing, still dancing, uninjured. But anyways, let's move on to the biggest games of the week. As always, we normally do the score predictions, but no, I want to get a bit of flavour because these games are massive, innit? We're not worried too much about Europa League because obviously we just slapped our team in it, so you know that's what it is. Certain man lost to the old manager that they got signed, but you know it is what it is. Yeah, you know.
Good evening.
I guarantee when Roma went 2-1 up, Usmaan was absolutely.
His head was
footage. I did the watch along, so you can actually on the watch along at the halftime stage, right? To Jerry, me and Jerry chatting. To Jerry, obviously, you know, he was doing his thing and that, and I was like, "No, what? We played really well, but the defense has let us down." And I swear to God, it's literally there. I said, "I'm not blaming Oli at all. It's not Oli's fault." Because the players conceded stupid goals. I said the only thing I can criticize Oli is for starting Scott McTominay, but apart from that, it's on the players. And you know, we slapped him second half because it's shit. As of Villarreal, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, let's start with
because I blame Arteta for that result. But anyway, he's what
did you not play a false 9 the first time in Arsenal history?
First game in its history, like literally.
First game in the history of Arsenal Football Club playing a false 9. You know, one of your biggest games.
And what's so funny is, I think
man literally thought he's Pep Guardiola.
I think what's so funny though about it is that, like, you know, when you play a false 9 and you think about all the false 9s are guys who technically are amazing sound and create space for others and like pass. They're good passes of the ball. Like think of Kai Havertz, Fabregas, Foden's played it, Gundogan's played it, KDB, and then he plays Pepe there. Of all guys. Of all guys.
Who would you have played then? Who would you play? Just out of curiosity.
No,
Martinelli.
I wouldn't have. Surely. Martinelli's a striker though, not a false 9.
Exactly. Just play him as a striker.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just play him as a striker. Like, you know what I mean?
Balogun's there as well. Like, make it make sense.
He's not gonna play Balogun. He would have went for this guy. He scores stappings and does this. That guy,
Eddie. Steady Eddie.
I love Eddie. What a lad. What a
I
guy.
don't love him.
He's a good name, man. Would Arsenal take Abrahams off Chelsea in that false 9 position?
Quality signing for them.
Oh yeah, I think so.
It's the same as Ryan Mason being a quality manager.
You know what? Welbeck scored a bang on the weekend, by the way.
Hey, the goal's quality, you know. The goal's quality still.
If you could have Welbeck, you could have Tammy. You could have Tammy. 40 M's. Take him off us. 40.
40 M's.
You guys think he's buffing? But United in the comments said the same thing. Tammy for 40 million.
Tammy's going for anything less than 40 M.
That's his price tag, yo.
Tammy's going for 40 million. Like, Tammy scores. Tammy's a what's it called?
But then again, how much was Timo Werner?
What was that?
50.
Werner was 50.
Yeah.
Tammy's been 60, isn't it? Tammy's been 60 then.
Tammy's not better than Werner. Tammy's not better than Werner. As bad as Werner's been, Tammy's not.
I like Werner. He's gonna come good. My boy Havertz, though, he was absolute quality. Innit?
That's my boy. That's my boy.
I mean, we all knew. We've always said Kai is the guy, man. Like, we've always known that Kai would come good, and I hope this is a good start for next season.
I really don't hope this is a good start, because if he does come good, but on the level, because I do watch a bit of German Bundesliga, because obviously because of COVID, and they were the first league back in it. So, bro, this guy, I'm telling you, he could be not Frank Lampard level, but he's got that in him, man. Like, in terms of that, he could easily score 20 goals a season. Like, I wouldn't even be shocked. Like, he's that good of a player. Like, top draw player. So fair play to him. But listen, let's go back to Arsenal. We'll come to Chelsea. I want to say that it's a big game, innit? Arsenal, what do you reckon, Kill? What do you want to see different? And obviously, we'll get everyone's score prediction. What needs to change for Arsenal to win this? Because I personally think you're still going to go through. I'm not going to lie. Like, I genuinely think I don't want to play you in the final. I really don't.
What we need to do is get rid of the manager. But that's not what happened. What we need to do.
Ryan Mason, for this big game, he's proved it. He's got a track record now in big games. What
we need to do is start. Well, we got Orba back, so start Orba. Hopefully, he can back too.
Is he up top? Is Orba up top for you? Is he going down the middle?
Oh, absolutely. I've always had Orba up top, even at the start of the season, all the way through the middle. I don't really believe in Lacazette, so I've always had Orba as my main number 9. Martinelli on the left. I think we need to play Pepe on the right. We desperately need to put Saka at left back. Because
bro, that's exactly what I was going to say. How is Saka not being utilized on that bike?
Is so slow. And he got absolutely draped by Trigueros. Draped. So he needs to get either put back. I think he needs to put him back in the middle and put Saka at left back, because it's not like Saka's scoring a bag of goals.
Yeah.
So
he'll be fine left back. Anyways, he's doing it for a full season almost. Like, not this season, but
back. If we do progress, he'll be back for the final. And yeah, we just need to put Saka at left back, because Xhaka is fine at left back.
I feel for Xhaka, man. All the guys back in it, so that's obviously a positive. Big player. A bit of creativity that you're missing. All right, let's get everyone's score predictions, and then we're not even going to bother with Maynard, because if they don't go through, I swear to God, you won't see my face again. If we don't go through on a 4-goal lead, bro, I'm not coming back.
What I'm saying, Usmaan. Huh? Yeah, we won the first game at home, so we're winning.
Roma back 4. I'm gonna be creasing.
Listen. If Roma back 4, whether you're there or not for the start of the podcast next Monday, I'll get guests on. I will start the podcast and I will leave. They can run it themselves. You ain't gonna see me, bro. They can do their own thing. I ain't trying to hear it,
bro. I swear to God, I'm not doing no match reaction. I'm not one of those people that do those like when. I don't like a rap video. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to waste money doing that shit, man. Like, oh my God, I can't be doing that. But Daniel, what do you reckon? What's your score prediction for Arsenal against Villarreal? Sorry.
I think Villarreal will do it. I just don't trust Arsenal in it. Like, I think Villarreal. That's like Emery. Emery's been focused on it. And really, they will be kicking themselves. They should have scored a lot more goals than that. I think it should have been like 4-1. If I'm honest, Saka got a very unfortunate.
It was a dive. Let's be real, and it was a dive. Like, for me personally, I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, nothing personal, but it was a dive. But yeah, so I think they will do it. I don't know why I think it'll be a high-scoring game though. I think it will be. I'll say 3-2 Arsenal. 3-2.
Start put them through, like. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It puts Villarreal through on the way goes.
Yeah. I think
that would be like beautiful, to be fair.
Yeah. I think it'll be 2-2.
Oh God!
But United though, I couldn't. That game's done. Like that is literally
I'm not gonna waste my time.
I will put £10. I will put £10 on Roma to win though, but it will be impossible.
Yeah, they're not winning. They're not putting that back. Colin, what do you reckon, bro?
Liverpool in the Champions League.
Bro, Roma cannot defend. They're gone. I said it before the game. And Smalling was arguably man of the match as well, and he didn't even flip and play for us.
I mean, you guys were lucky though. Cavani shouldn't have got the penalty for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, what?
A stonewall penalty, though.
No.
We got lucky at the penalty. Did you see this?
No, you both did. Yeah. I said at the beginning that wasn't a penalty as well. Course, both weren't penalties. Yeah, Kojo, you think Cavani's one was a penalty? I know you do. Look at it.
Yeah, it was. It was a stonewall penalty. How was it not a penalty? He's fully took him out.
Nah, I don't think it was a penalty, man.
Blatant pen. You seem to hear the keeper shouting, no, like, you know, in the content is what I'm talking about. Kojo, what do you reckon? Arsenal score might not if they lose.
They'll draw 1-1.
Should out. Honestly, God, I honestly, God, I do not want to play Arsenal in the final. I would hate that. I would hate that because I know we lose this game. Not only we get bantered, but we've given them the golden ticket back into Champions League. So that's double. Like, yo, bro, what we have to do?
It's forever because that means Arteta stays. So, boy,
he's putting us. I'm joking. I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal actually, and goes to penalties and Arsenal win it. Leno redeeming himself. Kale, what's his competition then? What you say?
I think we win 3-1. I think Emery, as we saw in the first leg, he panics, and that's why we came back. That's why we got the goal. And to be fair, if Oba didn't slip, it would have been 2-2. Yeah, I feel like
the defense isn't that good either, particularly.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think the defense is that good. So I think we can get 3 goals. I think we can minimize. If we play Xhaka left back, we can minimize the defeat. Because I think if we play Xhaka, then the tie's over.
Right, hopefully Xhaka starts then. Right, okay, let's move on to the Champions League games where it really matters. We'll start with the Chelsea game. I feel like it was 1-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Chelsea should have won.
Yeah. Chelsea definitely should have won. Daniel, we'll come to you last because I've got a feeling you've got a lot to say on obviously the thoughts of the game. But no, actually, we'll start with you. Give us your expertise. What do you reckon? How do you think it's going to pan out? And then we'll all do our score predictions.
I have absolutely no idea how it will pan out. But I pray to the Almighty God that we win because I'll be a wreck. That game, I'll be nervous. I'll be a wreck. The thing is, if we lose, I'll be disappointed, but I won't be sad because we shouldn't even be here. Like, I don't even think we should be here. The fact that Tuchel's allowed us to even be on a level playing field as just shows how well we've been under him. Only lost 1 game. And he's just been quality, man, and he's restored a lot of belief to the team and to the fan base as well, as a whole. And
3-1 Madrid win, yeah.
Nah, we won't concede 3. We don't concede. Like, if Madrid win, it will be like a 2-1 or a 1-0. We won't concede 3 for sure. As long as we don't get a red card anyway. But I think we can do it, man. Like, I think we can do it. I mean, it is the Chelsea and me talking, but I think we can do it.
I think you can do it. Honestly, I think you were brilliant the first game. Like,
exactly, and I just think
been outside.
No Varane now as well, which is huge. He's not going to play. Ferland Mendy's not going to be fully fit, even if he plays. Ramos will not be fully fit if he plays. So we got a huge chance. We got a really huge chance. We just got to press well, go out there and just do the job. But scoreline, I'd say, is.
He's plus 4-1.
Scoreline, I think it will be. I'll say 1-0 again. I said 1-0 first leg, and they scored a silly goal, which we didn't defend well. But I think we'll win 1-0 and get the job done, man. But it'll be a nervous game, man, all through. We need Werner to just finish his dinner, man.
I know. If Werner could win a lot of fans back, he obviously scored in the first
100%.
This is a chance for him, obviously, where it really matters.
We need Werner to have his Torres moment.
Yeah, I remember when Welbeck scored at the Bernabeu for us from the corner. That header. Bro, I always remember that goal. Welbeck scored for us against Real Madrid at Bernabeu, like when we drew to it. When Nanny got sent off that time.
Oh, yes, now I do.
Because you have to think about it because it's the defining moment in Champions League history for him is when he tried to lob Manuel Neuer. And
and he 1v1.
I still haven't forgiven him.
Yeah.
And that's Neuer in his prime as well. Like,
yeah, no, this ain't no show thing, you know. No, but what I'm saying is, obviously, when Balbeck scored that goal, you're not United fans started to believe in him in a sense. Like, no, this kid's probably got something. I didn't want him so now. I just love the guy, but you know, that's a different topic. But yeah, Werner could potentially do that. Anyways, it's hard for me, right? Because I'll tell you why. Because if Chelsea win this game, I have to support Chelsea to win the tournament. Because I don't want Man City to win it for obvious reasons.
No, you can support
and
PSG.
I can't get PSG to win it because Benji will not even let me forget it. Benji will
Pochettino.
Benji will kill me. For some reason, he thinks I hate Pochettino. I don't hate Pochettino, but we have this me and Benji have this inside banner thing I'm Nagelsmann, he's Pochettino. I don't know how it's come about, but it is what it is. So if Pochettino wins that, I'm dead basically.
If Pochettino wins the league semi, and because he ain't winning the league, because I think Lille will take that.
It's still harsh to say that. I know that it's not in their hands, but boy, it's 3 games left in it, and it's 1 point behind. It's not like it's like if it was 4 points, I'd say cool, yeah.
If they don't win that league, though, Benji gets
Lille's toughest opponents were Lyon, who they beat, and who they played recently.
Yeah, no, they played them the other day.
Lille's top,
but no, but Lille's top, yeah, by 1 point. But I just think, look, to bet against PSG will be madness. Like you just can't.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to City PSG, but basically, if Real Madrid don't go through, I have to spot Chelsea in there. Actually, when we did predictions video at the start of the season, funnily enough, obviously we all predicted who's going to win. I said Real Madrid to win the whole Champions League from right at the start of the season. So I said Madrid and Bayern, I think, which is obviously a cop-out. Bayern, yeah. I said Bayern and Madrid. I don't know. It's a bit of a cop-out saying Bayern, really. But I was like, Madrid will just find a way. That's what I was saying. And then they had that nightmare in the group stage, and everyone was tagging me in the video saying, look at you, lad. And obviously, you know, on the verge. But I'm going to say Chelsea do it. I think Chelsea will just sneak it. I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea. I think Madrid, although they got the experience, I think they got too many injuries, man. And it's come at the wrong time. Like you said, Ramos, if he plays, he ain't fit. Neither is Mendy. So I think they're going to have an issue. They're relying on Benzema quite a lot for goals here. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Chelsea. Kale, what do you reckon?
I think Chelsea sneak it maybe 1 or 2-0. I don't think Madrid will score. I think their goal was very, very lucky. It was a bad few mistakes from a few players. But yeah, I don't think. To be honest, with the whole Tuchel, like the love story, love fest, there's all from Daniel there. You had a nice, easy draw. To be fair, Real Madrid's probably been the toughest.
I hate when people do. We had that there for Madrid. They were top of La Liga, and fair enough, they weren't in the greatest.
That's not easy draw, man. I don't care.
They're top of La Liga. I know we got Porto. That's fine. Fair enough, innit? But Atletico Madrid, Porto, and then Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, that's not an easy draw.
Atletico is not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
To beat them 3-0 on aggregate as well. They didn't score. Come on, man. Yeah,
Simeone, he's a dog in it. Like, do
you know what an easy draw is? Getting flipping Dynamo Zagreb and getting Villarreal and Slavia Prague. That's an easy draw, KO.
Yeah.
The competition is different down there. It's different down there. That's all right.
Oh shit! What's this score? Oh, you said you can Chelsea get rid of it. Yeah, easy draw and all that. Yeah, to be fair, Arsenal against Real Madrid would have been a close 5-1 loss. Kojo, what do you reckon? Kojo, what do you reckon, bro? These men lost to Villarreal and they're talking about dealing with Benzema, you know? I grew the Madrid. You know, they got Ceballos in midfield. Yo, you gotta respect Real Madrid. These guys are giants.
Deserve that fish. Don't worry.
It's fine. It's so good.
Daniel, I'm sorry, but this is going to extra time. I'm sorry. I know. It's going to extra time. And I feel like the winner is going to come 118th minute.
Sergio Ramos in it. Stop.
Sergio Ramos.
The King of Kings will arrive. No, honestly, all banter aside, I genuinely feel like it will be a Chelsea winner, and I think it's going to be someone unsuspected as well. Unexpected, sorry. I don't think it's going to be someone that we think.
Like Chilwell or something with Jorginho.
No, because Chilwell can strike a ball.
I know he can, but you don't expect him to score.
I'm talking about like Rudiger or like Kovacic. Kovacic don't score goals, and he can't score goals in this moment.
No. A Kante header over Sergio Ramos.
Imagine.
He's on top of Sergio Ramos with his hands on his
If
shoulders.
that happens, that's not happening.
And then he does the drug celebration as well.
The odds of that happening are actually what's it called? Higher than Leicester winning the Premier League. However, if that happens,
I'm gonna get
a Kante top.
I don't see no smiling Kante. I want to see these slides and Drogba celebration. That's what I want to see.
Usmaan, if
Kante probably do this. Kante probably do this.
He's like, oh, sorry.
No,
he's not doing LeBron James, man.
Usmaan, real talk. If Ramos is to blame for Real Madrid not making it through, I'm not available on Monday.
Oh, really?
Because I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen to me on that Monday if it's his fault. So I'm not available.
Is your goat, fam?
Oh, is it?
Triple H, bro. I told you.
He's a Man United legend forever in history. I'm surprised I got a statue of him outside.
Who, Ramos?
Yeah, 100%. The way he injured Salah, that armbar, that was gold status. That armbar, and then on top of that, on the Ballon d'Or nomination, he just Salah. I hope you're okay, bro.
On the same arm.
Yeah.
You see my King of Kings, yeah? I told you.
This guy don't care, I love him. What a goal. But yeah, to be fair, extra time. I was thinking extra time as well. Actually, it just seems like it's gonna be a tight ass game, man. That one is. But let's go to the last game. We probably should do this one before, actually. But City v PSG. I'm hearing Mbappe's out for this game.
Maybe he's gone. He's flown over. He's fine.
Yeah. I think he'll play. He definitely will play. There was a risk, but he'll play.
Bro, if Rashford's been playing with injections for long, man, Mbappe don't part there.
Yeah, no level, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not compare Rashford and Mbappe.
Yeah, because obviously Rashford's...
Yeah, exactly. Compare Mbappe to Nketiah and them man there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Martinelli and them man there. Or what's that guy from Vinicius? What's that guy from Spurs? Don't do the celebration.
Which one? Vinicius.
Yeah, that's the one. What a guy. But anyways, we digress. Listen, City were absolute sensation second half. First half, they weren't good. PSG for me, right? And I said this as well. I was the only one on this panel that did not predict the City last. You lot all said City were going to lose. It was as a 2-2 draw, actually. I don't think PSG that good, and I've said it consistent. I know they beat, Bayern Munich, fair play, but they got lucky. Surely without chatting shit, it's similar to how Chelsea should have put Madrid, to the sword. Bayern had chances for days in that. I think it was the first leg. Towards Lewandowski's fit, man, it's a different ball, but he wasn't. So, for me, PSG defensively, they're not good enough. So I think City, sadly, bro, Chelsea, you're done one, man. I can't have City win the Champions League. So I think City are gonna win it. I'm gonna say 3-1 Man City on the night. Daniel, what do you reckon?
I think everyone knows PSG aren't the greatest of sides, but the reason why we pick PSG is because they tend to have the two best players, on the pitch at any given moment. So, I mean, they've got two of the top 5 best players in the world. It's hard to pick against that type of team, innit?
Yeah, those ones be Martial, Cavani, and Greenwood.
You didn't even pick Rashford. You picked Martial.
Of course,
because if I said Rashford, some people actually think I'm being serious, isn't it? If I said Rashford, some people probably
I hear that. But nah, man. The one thing about them is they do miss a lot of chances, which has come to haunt them in this City game in particular. But who do I go for in this round, man? I think I have to give it to City, especially because they're ahead. Does
Aguero feature in this game for you?
Nah,
he scored an absolute bang in the week.
You bring him on if you need goals.
That's
what it was. You start the same exact team. You start the same team, and then you go.
Can we just quickly talk about Foden, because we barely speak about Man City on this show. Obviously, we got Alex. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, he's at uni. He's at uni stuff. So man's busy busy with the uni thing. To be fair, I'd rather not see his face now. He's gonna be too smoky. At that time, his team was struggling. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Bro, he hasn't been on for he's done the opposite of he's done the opposite of Ahmed. He's dipping his team doing well. Even his team were getting smoked. Okay, we had a little regular Man City fan. When Man City was struggling, he was on the podcast weekly. But since they've gone good, he's not come back.
That might be to also become title challenges, to be honest.
Yeah, I might be in my grave at that point, so the podcast won't be happening. But
wow. Wow.
But anyways, Daniel, as you were saying, Foden. We got to talk about Foden here. The guy was
that's young talent. Don't compare him to any other star boy. Pardon?
Saka.
Oh, stop it, man. Saka's not even. Saka's good, but I think Saka's playing close to his ceiling. But anyway, that's neither here or there, innit? But Foden, man, quality, man. And he's also nice to watch as well. You know, players who are nice to watch already so much tokens in their pocket, in their pocket, and then he's just quality. I mean, I think goal contributions wise, he's top.
Exactly.
I think he's got about 10 goals, 10 goals, something crazy anyway. He's got a nice amount of goals and assists this season. So he's got the stats, he's got the eye test, and then he's just a pleasure to watch, man. Quality player. There was a run he went on against PSG that if he scored, he would have broken the internet, man. He definitely would have, and he's just good, man. Playing at the highest stages, and now it's done. Like Pep has handled him well. I don't want to see no rest in Foden now. Foden needs to play week in, week out.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, just quality player. Number one of all the English talents. I don't care.
Yeah.
Number one.
It's not even close. It's really now.
Yeah.
That shut it down. Kojo, another man that stepped up. A clutch goal, so to speak. See how it is. Kevin De Bruyne. Could he potentially be the difference again going into the second leg?
He's always capable of being the difference, isn't he? His passing range and ability to strike a ball so hard is very impressive. So he's always got the ability to. I think this game's going to be closer than we think it's going to be. I think it's another game that's going to go into extra time. I genuinely believe so.
I love an extra time game when you're neutral. We're not in this one, but in general, it's quality.
And I feel like even the extra time, I feel there'll be 2 more goals. And I'm going to stick my neck out and I'll say the goal will be either scored by 2 players. Either by John Stones or by Choupo-Moting.
Choupo-Moting's at Bayern Munich.
Exactly.
Choupo-Moting's at Bayern Munich.
He left. I forgot. Then in that case,
Moise Kean.
No, Moise Kean, because he gets silly minutes. He doesn't get proper minutes. He gets minutes against the lower boys. He's not really, and it annoys me. I feel like that's what talent. I think it'll be Cardi then. I'll say Cardi or Stones.
Cardi alive, man. Guy barely plays, man. Like, honestly,
but he's back in the score sheet recently.
Bro,
so
he's a baller, man. He's a baller. Clinical. Kale, what do you reckon? What's your thoughts on the matter then?
I feel like it all depends on which player turns out. Because even though Kevin De Bruyne got the goal against PSG, he did not play well at all.
He wasn't good.
But then again, neither did Neymar, neither did Mbappe. So
Neymar played well first half.
He should have scored. He
Neymar, these big games be very wasteful. He was wasteful.
Exactly.
When he played
so if Neymar turns up and KDB doesn't, PSG win and vice versa for City.
Okay.
Fair enough. Let's get everyone's score prediction. I've gone 3-1 Man City. I think they're gonna slap him. Because of the 2 away goals, it's gonna be too much to overturn. Danny, what's your score prediction?
I'm just gonna go with a Man City win, 2-1.
All right, fair enough. Cody, what you saying?
I said 3-2. So yeah, but I can't call which one the score the winner. So 3-2 either way.
Okay, fair enough. Kale, last but not least.
Wait, what's the aggregate score?
It's 2-1 to
2-1.
They got 2 away goals though.
I think 2-0 PSG.
Wow. Okay. No, I wish you're right. I really do. But listen, we're gonna leave it there. Obviously, like I always say, if you watch it back on repeat, get your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Danny's just practicing canter celebration when he scores a winner. You love to see yes. Make sure you show love to As the Ball TV, where you can find Daniel and the homie Darren doing big things, man, with the studio that you love to see it. And obviously, they've all just done a podcast on Coda Channel 3 in midfield. I'm not going to go through all of their Spotify, so I'm going to pass it to Kojo. Kojo, just shout out where people can find you, bro.
You can find me and Cahill, Free Midfield Podcast on YouTube, Free Midfield on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and of course Twitter, Free Midfield.
Love to see it. Daniel's exactly the same question, bro. Let the people know where they can find you.
I got my eye on the ball. I got my eye on the ball. Yeah, sorry.
You'd love to see it, right? Listen, make sure you check out all their stuff. Obviously, they're doing a podcast at 5:30 as always every Monday. Make sure you go and drop a like on that as well. Drop a like on this. But from that, it's been your boy Usmaan. Back tomorrow, discussing Manchester United and what that means for us moving forward, aka